Welcome to Square Table Conversations, where we talk about topics that matter. And today we are going to talk about the influence of entertainment media on the audience.
The social media or media, movies, web series have such a big influence on the audience. We see something that is a movie comes up, it becomes trending very fast, and people actually uh, try to follow whatever is happening there. For example, if you see, there was this movie Kantara where they showed about the tradition of Tulunadu, the dance that they not the dance, but whatever the traditions they have.
Mm.
And now it's become so famous that so many people want to go and watch it. They want to attend that the Bhuta Kola.
Mm.
So if such movies, you can see that they have such an influence on audience. But when some bad content is shown in in movies, it has the same influence on people. They actually, as a matter of fact, uh, they will uh, follow it faster. They'll be able to follow it faster actually. And I feel nowadays, I think web series, all sorts of content is coming up. There's not much restriction, and consuming that content is also very easy because OTT is accessible by everyone. And when such people keep consuming such content, we see a lot of changes in people's behavior, mindset.
So that's so true because when we see good content driven movies, good stories, movies with good messages, or even might be that it's a not such a famous actor who's playing the role in a movie, but the movie as a story might be really good. But the audience somehow does not really appreciate those. Like, yes, there are a set of audience who, they're very critical about movies and they only go if it's a good story. Just audience is looking for mass appeal. They just want a fight scene, they just want a good guy defeating a bad guy, or they just want that's the only thing that they want to see in the big screen. They don't like to see if something is different. They don't like to see if something is maybe the soundtrack of a particular movie might be really good, like a thriller movie, but the mass audience won't appreciate that. They will want their usual standard fight scene. They will want people flying off, a thing, and they don't want something that's more close to realism, or something that a simple story that might connect to real life. I don't think audience really appreciates that.
I think that is one of the reasons why that has happened, because we've generalized every single movie that has come into this category. And if you just talk about India and our cinema, all of the audience here is are prone to hero or heroine worship. So they see them as almost next to God. So whatever they do, whatever they say, they just replicate it. They don't see it as okay. It is cinema and this is real life.
The thing what is happening is people are not they're not seeing movies or this thing as a medium of telling a story. They just want to make money. At one point, there are few movies that actually have very good storylines, but after a point when an actor become is like he has that mass appeal, there's one standard thing that is there in a movie: good action, a heroine just for
The romance.
For
and
the
two
song
three
bit.
songs,
Yeah.
and then some family drama, and then he defeats the villain. The villain will keep giving him trouble till the end, and then finally he'll have one victory and it's done.
Yeah.
That is the common storyline of so many movies after a point. But there are few movies which are not very popular, but they have very good storylines. But the people are not able to consume it. They end up consuming the same thing that
The kind of movies that you're seeing these days are made of, but the budget itself is so high. They're getting all sorts of effects, CGI, this VFX, whatever effects they want. They're just getting it. They're outsourcing it, doing whatever they want. That's fine. but every movie is uh, they've just made it like you cannot afford to have a simple movie right now
Yeah.
because the audience will
Hmm.
not agree to it.
Yeah.
Just have a big blockbuster movie and then we'll see what happens. They're just making all sorts of movies, just nonsense movies, and has no meaning to it. At least there are there are good movies that are telling you about the history of the recent one Chava is a very good movie because it is at least telling you the history of your own ruler. And but there have been big blockbuster movies that have become flops, and I don't know what people had in their minds when they were even creating it. For example, uh,
Kalank.
yeah, Kalank. I mean, the movie, the title itself is justifies the movie, and there was another movie, Thugs of Hindustan. Uh, Never, I don't even think it saw the light of cinema. Like, if it
There
ever
are
came out.
there are parts and parts of old movies coming out, like part one, part two, part three of the
Yes.
same
Yeah,
movie,
they
just because it was a
they're
big
trying
hit.
they think they're trying to create a legacy,
Hmm.
but they're just destroying the legacy that was started by the original,
Yeah.
because they're getting more parts and just destroying it.
And another thing of how they portray women in movies and web series. There are many web series where they claim to show that they're trying to make it women centric or something, but even there women are only shown like uh, they are they are shown as career oriented, but they are also shown as just changing, just they keep on changing partners, or they only want physical pleasures. Only then you are a modern woman. Otherwise, you are just some oldie who doesn't want
Yeah.
anything in life. You're either shown as a sannyasi who doesn't want anything, or who is fully modern and does all kinds of those kind of things. Otherwise, you're not at all a normal. A normal woman is not at all shown in movies.
Yeah, this is mostly
Who's
when
both strong
correct.
and career
Yeah.
oriented, and who's good enough. Women are not shown like that.
I think this is mostly common in hero centric movies.
Hero centric.
But when it comes to, there are a lot of women centric movies. I wouldn't say there aren't.
Yeah, there are.
They are very well made actually, but aren't popular as much as a hero is worshipped in India.
Yeah.
I think that should be the first change that women get. They're choosing good roles. Why don't you build on that? Why do you come back to being just a partner to your husband, or a mom to your children, that kind of roles? I mean, women are more than that. They definitely can do a lot of different movies. And when it comes, what happens in India is, if it becomes a women centric movie, all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, it's not popular, it's not going to make it big.
It's not gonna make enough.
No,
Money.
they show it like, no, there are some very good women centric movies.
Yeah.
Like Queen was very good.
She created a brand of herself. That's why it became good.
Article 370. So that movie was, it depicted like the truth. Like it's not a fake story, or it's not a mass action oriented movie, and it had female leads,
Yes.
which is, I think that was one of the very very well made movies, because it was so content driven. But again, it didn't get the kind of reach that it should have. Like it didn't get the kind of reach that a movie like Animal got. That was total nonsense, but that got so much reach. And a movie like Article 370, the truth which a lot of people didn't know before, a movie like that didn't get that much reach.
And
So-
even the producers of the movie, like not only the producer himself, I'm talking about the whole team, they don't accept criticism well. They don't take it well. They're like, you just said something about my movie, so I'll attack you now by saying something about your movie. They don't take the feedback well.
Some of these old movies, I don't know if you've seen, like very old movies, they actually had very good storylines and had a very good social message as well.
Yeah.
And that is gone nowadays. I don't think that message part is forced into it. Like
Yes.
entertainment is the first thing,
Mhm.
and then message is just forced into it. Or I have to give some message through this movie, so they just put that. But I've seen so many old movies where the hero has a role, the heroine has a role of herself, she has her own character, and then it's they just show their daily life, but in a very interesting way, and there is a conclusion to it.
Yeah, so again, like you were saying, people get really influenced by movies. So if they see their favorite actors smoking a cigarette, or they're drinking, or even if they're treating, their wife or someone bad in the movie, they somehow take that as an inspiration, and they start acting like that, which is really not good. So these actors are also in a way responsible for the kind of roles that they take up, as well as the story should also be made in such a way that drinking and smoking should not be shown as a cool thing. They somehow it's always shown as, if someone is like doing really well in life, and they're the it person, they somehow have all these bad habits, and it's shown as such a cool thing, and people get influenced by that and think, okay, if I'll be a cool person if I do all these things.
And for the
So,
sake of certification only, they'll just put tobacco,
Yeah.
smoking kills.
yeah,
That's
what
nothing.
is the point of
Yeah.
showing something in such a big way and then giving a disclaimer by saying this is injurious to health?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Even
Yeah.
the use of foul words,
Yeah.
they
Has
make it
increased too much.
they
Yeah.
make it sound very cool, but
Yeah.
it actually is not. And people see that and they learn, especially
Yeah.
kids will learn such stuff, and you can't really.
And even these viral songs that are made, even people like capable lyricists who can write really good songs, they write
Yeah.
these repetitive songs that have repetitive words just because it will become famous or like really popular on reels, and even kids start making reels
Yeah.
of such songs.
Songs nowadays, before, like, I feel like an old person saying before and all, but songs were really good, had meaning. Now it's only for the reels,
Yeah.
whichever
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
will become popular on reels, something they can dance
They
or
make songs
Hmm.
based on that, and they put one particular hook step so that people will
Reels.
start making reels, and it's not anymore about, okay, we make a good song with good lyrics, it should have a good meaning. It's not like that.
So where is the art finally?
Yeah.
There is no art. You're just doing it for the money and the views.
get money making, and getting trying to influence a lot of audience has become the main purpose, rather than
Yeah.
providing a good social message through
Correct.
your art form.
So don't call yourself artists, because artists don't do this. They do not send wrong messages to the public. They don't do things like this.
Even when you were speaking, I just got reminded of this. The daily soaps that are about our mythology or history, what they do is, up to a certain extent, it is the actual history or actual mythology. After that, when the TRP starts increasing really, like the TRP is really high, they just add in whatever they feel like, just to
Yeah.
extend that daily soap a lot.
Yeah. I think audience does really influence the kind of movies and the stories. I mean, serials that are made, because I don't know about other states, but I've seen serials in Kannada here in Karnataka are mostly women centric.
Yeah.
The heroine is the main person. The hero is just the side
Hmm.
uh, side actor.
Hmm.
Because here women, they know that women are the one watching it, right? After the day is done, in the evening everybody will sit and watch it, and they know the women are the one who are only going to watch it. Men happen to watch it with their wives, that's another thing, but they know how to pull their crowd.
Hmm.
So if you are doing it for the crowd pulling,
Hmm.
so use sensible kind of movies.
Yeah,
That's
I
one.
think that's kind of an unsaid thing, where before they used to say this, that movies, like the big screen is for men and the small screen is for women. So that's the reason why movies are mostly male centric and serials are always female centric.
So make sure that your movie or daily soap doesn't do any harm to the
Huh.
society that has a lasting effect on the
Yeah.
society.
It's almost like this how in serial they show that this mother-in-law, daughter-in-law stuff
Yeah.
that kind of influences society. Maybe we would have gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
Mother-in-laws would
Yeah,
have been normal.
mother-in-law and sister-in-law are always shown as this villain character
Yeah.
who are like creating trouble.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the. I mean,
That's-
of
that may
course,
not be
that's not
true.
the case, but a lot
There
of people.
might be some households
Yeah,
doing
there
it,
might be.
but
yeah.
why are you showing it to the audience so that everybody follows?
They show it as if that's the majority.
Yeah.
And yeah, people
That-
get influenced by that.
And they think it's normal to behave like that with
Yeah.
our daughter-in-laws.
but there are some very good movies and stuff like there's this movie called Jai 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 Hai. It's about how this girl she fights against domestic violence against
Hmm.
her husband. It's shown in a very nice way.
Yeah.
Like it has comedy, but the story is taken. They've taken it really well. As a matter of fact, even Tappad and,
Thappad, yeah.
and movies like Pink.
Pink.
Even The Great Indian Kitchen,
Yeah,
it's remade in Hindi now, but the original Malayalam was like a really good movie. They show the whole concept in a very subtle way. It's so close to real life, these kind of movies, and people will really be able to connect to it. And it had a really good message on how they try to suppress the daughter-in-law. It's nothing very. It's not like they torture her or anything, but they suppress her in a very subtle way, and it's shown very nicely throughout the movie. So I think movies like that with good content should be appreciated more, and I think that should be the way forward. And if you like our content, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel and show